Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to this week's This Week in Tyngsborough. I am Town Media Director Steve Brogan, and this is our Monday news for the town of Tyngsborough. Don't forget you can catch this broadcast, as always, on the various pages on Facebook that we share it across, as well as on YouTube, on our streaming service on YouTube, or streaming ability on YouTube, I should say. And you can watch it locally if you're in Tyngsborough on Comcast Channel 8, Verizon Channel 29, and also at tyngsboroughma.gov through our video on demand and streaming service. So if you want to catch us, you can watch it multiple different ways. As always, we try to share this out and spread it out as best we can using all the modern tools available to us, which is pretty cool stuff. So a whole bunch of news to get to this afternoon. There's actually a bunch of stuff going on in town coming up, as well as some other things that have been shared with me recently from a couple of surrounding communities. So with that said, I'm going to bring you right over to my computer so we can kind of start talking about that right now. First thing I want to mention is the photo contest starts today. So the Tyngsborough photo contest has begun. The submission period has begun, that is. If you are a resident or you work in Tyngsborough, you are eligible to enter the contest. So I've sent this out already through email to everybody who's already been in the contest before, and I've been sharing it out on our social pages and everywhere else. So if you are interested in taking part and sending in or submitting some of your photos, you are more than welcome to. We would love to see them. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Photo contests are always great. We get tons and tons of submissions, which has been really cool. And we get to just see just so many different things. It's really pretty awesome to see all the stuff that comes in. So as I said, feel free to enter into the contest if you are so interested in that. So that's what's on my computer screen there. Let me flip you over to this side, and we'll go over the other stuff that's going on. So here we go, town website. So coming up, I was going to show you the calendar. I'm trying to do this on a different computer screen, so it's a little bit tricky to reach some of these things. Tonight for meetings, there's actually a good amount of meetings this week. There's a First Parish Meeting House Interior Subcommittee meeting that's happening tonight. I believe actually at the First Parish Meeting House. So for those that don't know, they've been going through a number of renovations last year. A little longer than they did the exterior renovations, where the new paint job and did a bunch of fixing of rotting boards and things like that. Now they're actually working on the grounds part, which is the exterior subcommittee, and then they're also doing an interior subcommittee for the internal stuff, all the things that are going on inside. So they're planning all the renovations and stuff, working with the committee and getting ready for contractors and whatnot to start their project. So that's happening, which means we're going to have a really fabulous, beautiful building by the end of this process, which is going to make for a beautiful town center and a very nice usable building. So you'll be able to use it for all kinds of different things, namely town events, but also for other things. So if you're a resident, you'll be able to use it for that. Hi, Dolly, if you're watching, by the way. Just say hi. A little shout out for folks. So that's happening tonight. There's also a adult use marijuana host agreement subcommittee meeting happening tonight. We're trying to figure out which one of these we're going to be covering tonight, because they're both happening pretty close in time, and I only have one person to cover them, so she can't be in two places at once. So we're trying to figure that out. But that said, that's also happening tonight, and again, I'll let you guys know as soon as I figure out what's going to be happening with the actual coverage of that. There's also over at the school, there's a superintendent evaluation subcommittee meeting, so that'll be interesting. I don't think they'll be broadcasting that, I'm pretty sure, or covering it anyways, because it's personnel thing, so generally they keep those closed, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. So anyways, that's tonight. Tomorrow, Council on Aging, and there's a regular school committee meeting tomorrow. Let's see, this NEMCOG meeting, that's not here, that's over in Lowell, I believe. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. And then the planning board meeting on Thursday, and I don't know, is there an agenda? There is not an agenda listed here. I'm sure there is an agenda, but there isn't one on the website. So if you did want to see that, you'll have to jump over to you'll have to call Pam Berman over in the planning office to get the information on what's going on there. Moving over to the Tyngsborough Public Library website. As I like to show you guys, there's always some really cool stuff that comes up at the library. Let's see, writers group meeting tonight, tech advice tomorrow night, Tiny Tots story time on Wednesday, which is always popular, and the Pokemon Club, digital photography part 2. That's Nick DePasquale's class. Excellent class, by the way, from what I'm told. He's been doing a really nice job with that. So that's a really cool class. They're in their second one there, and then tech advice on Wednesday as well. Music together demo class. That's a fun one. I brought my daughter to that once. That was she really had a good time at that. And then story time for ages 3 to 5. I believe that's in the story time room in the kids section of the library, which if you haven't been to the Tyngsborough Public Library, get down here. Seriously, there's some really cool stuff. Lots and lots of really cool things you can do. at the Tyngsborough Library that aren't just books. There's so many other things. You can download music. You can. There's a lot of digital content. They have lots of movies and stuff. It's almost like what that section, anyways, is almost like what Blockbuster used to be. Remember those? I don't know if anybody remembers Blockbuster Video, but it's kind of like what that used to be. So that's pretty cool. But they have tons and tons of really great stuff, and then they have a really fabulous kids room. So if you have the kids for the day, or you're trying to find something to do with the kids for the day, bring them to the library. You guys will have a ton of fun, at least for a couple hours anyways. You can keep them occupied. And then, of course, they're closed on Friday as usual. And then Saturday, this is Nick DePasquale. He's doing a Lightroom class on photography, so that's pretty cool. Their classes, by the way, generally are you have to sign up ahead of time, so not all of them are. Most of them aren't usually just show up, but they'll usually say that on the website, though, whether or not it's a sign up required or it's just a drop in type thing. Yeah, see, this one even says registration required, so most of them are usually, just so they know who's coming. But if you wanted any more information about that, you can call the Tyngsborough Public Library, and they will be happy to give you all of the information that you would like. So moving on now, I wanted to show you something really cool on the Tyngsborough Fire Department's website, which if you haven't been there, it's a great website. Lots of really good information. The main stuff, the usual things there, but there's some really good information as far as permitting and burning and all that kind of stuff. What I wanted to show you, though, was down towards the bottom of the homepage. They give some of their stats for responses and things. So pretty cool to see the numbers and see what's being done as far as what's happening in town, what the fire department is responding to and whatnot, so you can kind of gauge what keeps them busy. Obviously, the ambulance is quite busy, 1,185 calls there. Transports, building fires, chimney fires, so on and so forth. There's lots of really interesting information. Kind of cool, too, to sort of know what's going on, because in addition to taking care of our town, they also, as we know in the what happened last week over in Andover, North Andover, and Lawrence, they also responded a couple of units over there. So they not only take care of our town, but they were also helping to support through mutual aid other towns as well, which is really always nice to see. But that's over and above what they do just on a general daily basis. So pretty cool stuff. But if you wanted to keep an eye on that, you can check out their website, tyngsboroughfire.com. This is actually a brand new website that they just finished. It was nicely redone by Jason Bulger, our town IT guy, and a few other gentlemen over at the fire department. So very well done there. Tyngsborough Police Department, I wanted to throw this one out there, and the reason being is because there is a part-time dispatcher opportunity. So anybody who's looking for a job, part-time dispatcher opportunities open over at the Tyngsborough Police Department. So check that out on their website. There you can get all the basic information, the pay, and the hours and whatnot. And yeah, so that's a pretty cool one. So like I said, anybody who's looking to get into the field of law enforcement, this is probably a good way to get started, because you can kind of start working there and start getting involved in what's going on. So pretty cool stuff. And then I had a few other flyers, which I don't have on screen, but I will go over with you guys. So I wanted to just make sure and mention some of this stuff. These are a few things that were shared with me not too long ago. So number one, and probably, well, for the town folks, the most important. So there is a special town meeting scheduled for, for November 13th is the actual date of the town meeting, 7 p.m., the usual town meeting dates. And I just wanted to go over basically what they've got here on this list, which doesn't actually have the items. Okay. Basically, this just talks about when this is happening. There's they have a draft period for the warrant. When the warrant is, the information has been released, you'll be able to go and look at all the items on the warrant and check out what's coming up, what's going to be discussed. And once I get that, I'll bring that to you. But I just want to make sure you knew about the date at least. So mark your calendars. November 13th is a special town meeting. So if you want to come down and take part in that, obviously very important, because the special town meetings, or any town meetings, is where all of this stuff happens in town. This is where all of these monies that come in through taxes and other ways are allocated. So it's a very good thing to pay attention to what happens at your town meeting. If you can't make it to your town meeting, boy, I'm tongue twisted today. If you can't make it there, I will be broadcasting the town meeting over on our town channels. I'm going to try to get it up on Facebook again. We had an issue with it last year. I worked on it, but I wasn't successful, unfortunately. Didn't have enough time before the meeting. So, but we'll try to get it up there as well if we can. But yeah, important to pay attention to, just so you can keep an eye on what's going on, what's happening. So when things do come up, you don't have to be out of the loop. You want to be in the loop at least and have some knowledge of what's going on in your town. It's definitely a good thing to have. So that's coming up November 13th. Mark your calendars. there is a unwanted medication disposal day coming up. This is actually in Lowell, September 19th from 2 to 6 over at the Lowell Health Department. Of course, I've talked about this multiple times now, where at the Tyngsborough Police Department, there is a box right in the lobby there when you go in that you can drop off your medications pretty much 24/7. As long as that door's unlocked, you can go in there and drop off your medications. So feel free to take use of that if you need to, as well as generally a lot of pharmacies have a drop-off box as well, so you can get rid of that stuff there. But Lowell is doing a big drop-off day, so it's just another opportunity to drop off that medication. And they do these special days, we'll call them, just so that they can raise awareness that this resource is there for you. So if you have medications, you want to get rid of these things, you want to get them out of your house and away from harm's way or just accidental use or whatever. These are available so you can get rid of that stuff. So definitely pretty cool to take advantage of and to make sure that stuff is safe so it's not being improperly used or accidentally used or whatever the case may be. So definitely kind of cool. And I'll post these. I'll actually throw these in the comment section so at least you can see them that way after the fact. Also, it is September, I believe, is September is National Recovery Month. So there's a number of initiatives being done by the another number of events being done for National Recovery Month. There is a donation drive, so to benefit children and teens involved with the Department of Children and Families, DCF, due to their caretakers impacted by mental health and or substance abuse. Donations being accepted include cleaning supplies, soap, toilet paper, laundry detergent, trash bags, gloves, pajamas for any age group, baby diapers for any size, baby wipes, leisure wear for teens any size, sheets and blankets. And all of those donations can be taken to the Town Hall, Public Safety Building, Public Library, or the Buzzell Senior Center, Buzzell, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Veterans Center, local churches, and Wilmington Middle and High School. I imagine, all that stuff. So Town Hall, you can bring that stuff here. If you have anything you want to donate towards that, you can do that. There's also the third annual Candlelight Vigil that's going to be held on September 17th, which is today. 7 p.m. at the Town Common. So this is Wilmington, excuse me. So I'm not sure about the drop-off being here at Town Hall for that stuff. I'll go double-check with the Board of Health on that one just to make sure. She sent me this, so I didn't get any other details, unfortunately. But I'm going to assume this is Wilmington. But anyways, if you wanted to donate to that, call the Board of Health too. You can ask them, and they can tell you. I'm sure you could drop that stuff off, and they'll be happy to bring that over too, though. So there's also, like I said, there's the Candlelight Vigil tonight, Youth and Anxiety. This is to be announced, but Wilmington Public Schools partner with McLean's Hospital for a night about anxiety and other mental health resources with Wilmington. Guest speaker will be Julia Martin Birch, she's a PhD psychiatrist at McLean's Anxiety Mastery Program. And then another event on October 2nd, How to Recognize Substance Abuse at Work. That's on October 2nd at 8:30 at the Wilmington Chamber of Commerce. They'll host a working breakfast to educate employers and employees about how to recognize warning signs and symptoms of substance use and mental health in their workplace. Speaker will be Samantha Rafe, Health and Recovery Coordinator out of the Wilmington Police Department. So pretty cool that they're putting together all this stuff for Recovery Month. Obviously, mental health issues have been very much in the news in the last year or two, so actually even more than that. But even still, it's been quite the amount of it's been a lot more, let's say, in the last couple years. So given what's been happening with shootings and whatnot. So mental health is definitely an issue, and obviously they're doing a lot to at least raise awareness and try to help. I know I will be helping doing some broadcast with a number of folks from the Tewksbury Board of Health. They're going to be coming here. They have a program that they work in conjunction with our Board of Health here in town. So we'll be doing some broadcasts over the next month. So watch for those if you want to check them out. We'll be talking about a number of different subjects all related to the mental health issue. So that should be pretty interesting and eye-opening for a lot of folks if that's something that you either deal with or cope with or have any connection to. You'll definitely want to check those out. And they'll, of course, be available on Facebook, YouTube, and our other town channel and video on demand streaming. So pretty cool stuff to pay attention to for sure, and obviously important. So there's those things. And then I wanted to mention, I think that's all I had for that. Let me just double check before I wrap this up. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's it. Okay, good. And then lastly, so a couple of things. I mentioned the photo contest, of course, right? So that's happening. The recount happened here this past Friday. I don't have the results of that. I couldn't find anywhere where they've made those results public. I meant to do a little more digging on Google, but I didn't come up with anything. anything substantive, so I didn't want to go over any numbers that I don't have. But that did happen. As soon as I get them, I'll tell you guys. The only thing I do know is for our town anyways, there was no change in the actual tallies. There was one vote that went to Co, and one vote that switched to Lori Trahan, so it was basically a wash. The numbers were the same. I think that's how it worked. But anyways, the numbers stayed the same, so they didn't really change. So our numbers stuck basically. So pretty interesting stuff. It was kind of a fascinating process to watch how that all went down. Quite interesting group of folks to watch them do their job in a number of different. There was quite a lot of people actually in this room. This room was full of people between the counters and the observers and the lawyers and the clerks, and the registrars. And other support folks that were here, so it was pretty interesting to watch that meeting, watch that event happen. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. That was pretty interesting. I'll tell you. I put a couple photos, anyways, of the ballots being separated. But it was a public meeting, so if anybody was interested, you obviously could come down and watch that. And in the future, if there's another recount and you're curious to watch this process, you can come down and you can sit down in the observation area and watch the proceedings happen. So pretty cool stuff because it's fairly rare. I talked to our clerk beforehand, and she said that in her time here, I think it was 16 years, she's only seen 2. This is the second one, so it's pretty rare that this happens. Unfortunately, there's an extra cost to the town because you have to hire police details, and the poll workers have to come in, and all this extra stuff. So it's not. It does tax the resources a little bit to get these things done, but that's the way our system works. So, and you have to do a recount when it's that close. You definitely have to do a recount. The only other thing I know I can speak on is I was told that there were 45 votes in Lowell that were found for Lori Trahan. So that helped her cause. She was already in the lead anyways, but that definitely helped to push her that much further. And also maybe give some insight into why the state had to get involved in Lowell. I have no idea what happened in Lawrence. The last I heard, they were going to try to do it Sunday because of all the events that happened. So pretty interesting. And then 2 more things I want to mention before I let you guys go and before I get to the weather. Number one is I'm doing a video call out. Anybody interested in doing what I'm doing, sitting in this seat and broadcasting and talking about whatever subject it is you want to talk about, you are more than welcome to. Please contact me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can do that through my email, or you can also send me a message through Facebook. Preferred email, though, on that one, if you can. But yeah, if you're interested in doing your own show, I'd be more than happy to make that happen. We can facilitate some times and make some space available for you to come in and do your thing. It's a little bit limited in that I'm still in this space where we share it with the library and the committees meetings and all that different stuff, so that can be a little bit troublesome at times, as well as my schedule too. I got to be able to be here for you. But if you are so interested and so inclined, I would be more than happy to do my best to make that happen for you. And again, you can talk about whatever it is you want. I've actually already had one person contact me. He wants to come in and talk about his stories as a canine officer. He's pretty interested in doing that, so that should be pretty interesting. He will reveal who and the schedule for that at a later date as soon as we finalize some details. But he's been busy in Lawrence, so so we haven't really been able to finalize anything on that just yet. But pretty cool stuff. So if you are interested, I'd be more than happy to have you talk with you and have you come down and maybe do something. And of course, you have to be able to come down and sit on camera. You can't be shy. So because you will literally be sitting here in front of cameras. So pretty exciting stuff. Anyways, pretty cool. So if that's something you want to do, happy to do it. Happy to help you. And then lastly, tomorrow is another episode of the Tyngsborough Tuesdays segment that I've been doing. So we did our first one with Danielle Robichaud, and she came in and talked about her jewelry business. Tomorrow I have Carrie Sheehan coming in. She's going to be talking about her photography business here in town. If you are a business in Tyngsborough and you would like to come on and talk about your business to the residents in the community, let them know that you're here and what you do. I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can also send me a message through Facebook if you'd like as well. And I'll be happy to set up a time. This month is booked solid. Next month I have a little bit of availability, and then further out from there. So it's a lot of fun. Get to get some good information out to folks. So if you are so inclined and you'd like to come and tell people about your business, which you should if you're trying to make money, right? You should come talk to me, and we could get it on TV and on social media, so you can do that with your community members. So always happy to help and facilitate those. I think they're fun conversations. And it's nice to know what businesses are local. There's this big push to keep everything local and, shop local and eat local and all that stuff. So this is one way that you can help support that. So if you're a business or a community member, it's always great to have you either come on and talk or just to watch and maybe buy from those businesses, whatever the product is that they're selling. So pretty cool stuff. So again, any questions that you have for me, if there's any topics or subjects that you'd like me to try to find out some information on, you can always email me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov. You can send me messages through Facebook if you'd like to do that as well. But yeah, any questions you guys have, I'm always happy to look into and try to find answers for you. It's sometimes easy, sometimes not. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than others to get to some of these things because some of them are you have to go through multiple people. But yeah, any questions, feel free. sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov, or you can send me a message through Facebook. And then the last thing I wanted to show you before I wrap it up, I just wanted to quickly touch on the weather because it's going to be kind of a mess for the next couple days. Blah. Not excited about this one. Here we go. I'm going to bring it up to my screen. Obviously from the National Weather Service. So Hurricane Florence is coming up our way. And what she did down south, she's going to be like just whack us for a couple days apparently too. Tuesday's just going to be a mess, so don't plan on anything great on Tuesday. 100% chance of rain Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday night it's supposed to taper off, but it looks like the storm is going to linger around for a couple hours into Wednesday. So yeah, good times. Cooler temperatures though, 73 on Tuesday, 68. Is that 68 or 66 on Wednesday, and then 60s again on Thursday. And jumping back up on Friday to the mid-70s. So actually not too bad. I kind of don't mind the cooler temperatures. It's actually starting to feel like fall. First day of fall is coming up. I think the last day of summer is the 20th. So that's coming up quickly upon us. Good times. Not looking forward to the snow getting here, but you know what? It's New England. It is what it is. So yeah. So don't plan on doing too much outside on Tuesday. It's going to be kind of a wash. But that's all I got for you folks. Again, questions, feel free. Email me, sbrogan@tyngsboroughma.gov, and I will do the best to find out whatever information I can on whatever subject it may be. Tyngsborough Tuesdays, if you're a business in town, you want to get on and talk about your business, feel free to contact me again at the same email address. And the photo contest is happening, so now is the submission period. It starts today, and it ends at the end of the week. So if you are a budding photographer, or you just like taking pictures on your phone, whatever the case may be, feel free to send those photos in. We've shared that out a number of different ways, as well as email the information out too. So feel free to send in some photos. I love seeing the photos. They're a lot of fun to check out. So that's all I have for you today, folks. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow with Tyngsborough Tuesday. Take it easy.